Okay everyone, I was asked earlier this morning to do a video on special right triangles. So without talking too much about it, I'm just going to get right to business here. So the first thing we're going to do is, every one of these problems we're going to do together, I want you to pause it, try it yourself, and then I'm going to go through the answers. Okay? But first, here's basically what you need to know. If I'm given a 30, 60, 90, notice my 30-degree angle right here. I know opposite of it is some value x. It doesn't matter what that x value is. I already know that the hypotenuse right here is always going to be 2 times whatever that x value is. And the medium side down here will always be square root of 3 times the x side. And to say it another way, the hypotenuse will always be double the short side, and the medium side will always be square root of 3 times the short side. Now, if we have to go backwards, we have to understand with ratios we divide instead of multiply. And that, in a nutshell, is the 30, 60, 90 triangle. Now, let's put it to good use here. Okay? So, starting with this random problem number 4, pause the video and give it a try. Okay, do you agree that the 12 here is my short side? See how it's opposite the 30. What do I know? The hypotenuse up here is going to be always 2 times the short side, and 2 times 12 is 24. What about the medium side down here, the y? It's going to be square root of 3 times the short side, which we would normally write as simply 12 square root of 3. That's as simple as it gets, guys. Don't make it more complicated than that. Okay? Although some of them do get trickier. Pause the video if you need to. Okay. Ignore the fire truck in the background, please. Guys, go ahead and try this problem. Pause the video and give it a shot. Notice this time, guys, they gave us the hypotenuse. To go back to the short side, I have to divide by 2. Remember, the hypotenuse is always 2 times bigger. That means the short side has to be half as big, right? So it's 11 divided by 2. Now, normally we would divide and make that 5.5, but let's just leave it as a fraction, okay? Leave it as a fraction. We love fractions and radicals now. Get used to it. Now, what about the medium side y here? It's simply going to be the 11 halves. Sorry, I got interrupted there, but as I was saying, leave it as 11 halves. 11 divided by 2, don't make it 5.5. And the medium side is just going to be 11 halves times what? The square root of 3. So you can leave it like that or write it as 11 square root of 3 over 2. You most likely see it this way on a multiple choice exam. Pause the video again if you need to. Okay, guys, give this one a shot. Pause the video. See what you can come up with. All right, let's see how you did. Notice they gave us the hypotenuse again. So when I want to go backwards to the medium side, I have to divide by 2, right? Or take half of it. 6 divided by 2 means this side is 3. That means the medium side is simply 3 times what? The square root of 3. And I'm done. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, now this one's going to be a little bit tougher mathematically, guys. Let me do this one, and then I'm going to give you a chance to do number 6, and the video is done. Okay, so number 5, please take notes. Notice what makes this one trickier is they gave me the medium side. That means if I want to go backwards towards the shorter side, I have to divide by square root of 3. So x is 12 divided by square root of 3. But we can't leave it like that, right? We have to take 12 over square root of 3 and rationalize it. Recognize whenever you're dividing by a square root, guys, you have to rationalize, okay? So notice I end up with 12 square root of 3 over 3, because square root 3 times square root 3 is a 3. That's why we rationalize that way. Notice 12 divided by 3 is 4. So the short side is actually 4 square roots of 3. The medium side, of course, was 12. How do I get the hypotenuse? I'm going to take 4 square root of 3 times 2, because the hypotenuse is always twice as big. 2 times 4, of course, means this is 8 times the square root of 3, and I'm done. Pause the video if you need to. Okay, guys, pause it and give this one a shot. All right, let's see how you did. Because the 8 is the medium side, did you divide, not multiply, by the square root of 3? The ratio here, in other words, guys, is always going to be square root of 3. So what is 8 divided by square root of 3? Well, we have to rationalize it. We times by square root 3 over square root 3. We get 8 square root of 3 over 3, and that's our answer. Don't try to divide it or calculate it with your calculator. That's what we want, 8 square root of 3 over 3. Now, what again is the hypotenuse, y in this case? I'm going to take 8 square root of 3 over 3, that's the short side, times 2. And 2 times 8 means this side is 16 square root of 3 over 3. And I'm done. So pause the video one last time. Okay, guys, bottom line, this is what you're going to memorize about the 30, 60, 90. The ratio this way is always 2 to 1. The ratio this way is always square root of 3 to 1. Okay? And that basically, guys, is how you do 30, 60, 90s. I have a part 2 coming up shortly dealing with, of course, the 45, 45, 90. See you in class.